Do you feel like you have no control over your hormones, that your body is out of control and has a mind of its own? What if I told you that balancing your hormones starts not with HRT, not with supplements or lifestyle, but with your inner state? That doesn't mean these things aren't important, but you will get the biggest and fastest benefit when your heart and mind are connected and at peace. This is the secret of women who glide through menopause with barely a hot flash. Many of you may think this sounds woo-woo, but not only will I share these 5 steps, but also the science and research behind each step and practical application tips so you'll be able to start applying them to your life immediately. Hi, I'm Dr. Manon Fielding, holistic physician and midlife coach. If you enjoy learning these natural ways to support your hormone system, please take a moment to subscribe and like this video. It really helps to continue bringing you quality holistic content. Okay, let's get started. Heart focused breathing is one of the fastest ways to restore hormonal balance. When we slow down our breathing and focus on our heart, we enter a state called heart-brain coherence. And the message goes to your hormone system to lower cortisol and help DHEA and thyroid function rise again. It also increases oxytocin, which is known as the love hormone. Oxytocin increases after we give birth, especially during breastfeeding, and I personally remember feeling really joyful during that time because of that increase in oxytocin, which I didn't know what it was at the time. And it also increases in men and women when we're in love. You know, that warm, tingly, happy feeling? And who doesn't want more of that? This takes a little training and practice, but anyone can do it successfully, and it's free. The science behind the HeartMath Institute and independent labs show that slow, heart-focused breathing in and out for a count of 5 slowly begins to create what they call heart-brain coherence. And it's a rhythmic pattern that synchronizes the heart, brain, and nervous system. And it has been tested to reduce cortisol and increase DHEA, which is a key adrenal hormone that is linked to aging and resilience, and certainly can be affected during midlife, during menopause, and beyond. In 2020, Frontiers in Psychology study participants practiced coherent breathing for 10 minutes. They showed a significant decrease in their salivary cortisol and improvement in their heart rate variability, which is an important marker for stress recovery. So the important thing to remember here is that it doesn't take a lot to get these effects. 10 minutes a day of heart-focused breathing can physiologically shift you into a parasympathetic dominant state, which is our calm, relaxed state, the foundation for improving the balance of our estrogen, progesterone, and thyroid hormones. Meditation resets the part of your brain called the hypothalamus, which is the command center for your hormones. So when you quiet the mind, your body hears the message, "I'm safe now," and begins to focus on healing, balance, and your well-being. Many people feel they're unable to meditate, and because the voice won't be quiet in their head. But there really are so many ways to meditate, not just sitting in silence. You can do a guided meditation you can do meditation to music, you can go into nature. And it's often easier to start out with something like this than to sit in silence the first time. It's like a muscle that improves with use. And I have to stress that it's just like the first time you lifted weights. You start with very low weights, low repetitions. The same exact thing with meditation. You just start with a few minutes at a time, and practice does make a difference here. The science behind this is regular mindfulness or meditation reduces activity in your amygdala, which is your brain's alarm center, and it strengthens the prefrontal cortex, improving emotional regulation. In 2016, the psychoneuroendocrinology study found daily meditation lowered cortisol and raised melatonin and serotonin levels that are really crucial for sleep, mood, and hormone balance. Meditation also improves our insulin sensitivity and lowers blood pressure, two major factors in midlife, and it indirectly supports adrenal and ovarian function. The practical takeaway here is that even 5 to 10 minutes of quiet focus a day lowers your stress hormones and creates a neurochemical environment for hormonal. Every thought creates a biochemical event. Instead of considering positive or negative thoughts, it helps to consider them as either depleting or renewing thoughts. Depleting thoughts raise stress hormones and deplete our energy, making us feel tired and fatigued, while renewing thoughts release oxytocin, serotonin, and calm energy and help us feel energized in a good way. You literally can think your way toward hormone harmony. So the science behind this is that negative thoughts activate the HPA axis, which is your hypothalamus pituitary adrenal system, that releases cortisol and adrenaline. Now, positive emotional states trigger oxytocin and serotonin, which promotes safety, connection, and balance. HeartMath research calls this shift psychophysiological coherence. So when the brain, heart, and emotions operate synchronously, they create these hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, that make you feel shaky, feel stress, anxiety, depression. So we're shifting it in the opposite direction, and it's a physiological that you then experience as an emotional shift. Now, chronic pessimistic thought patterns correlate with higher cortisol, lower DHEA, and even reduces your immune function. That was based on a study from the University of Wisconsin. The practical takeaway is becoming aware of your thoughts. Are they depleting or renewing thoughts? Helps to rewire hormone signals in seconds. So emotional awareness equals endocrine awareness. So the kind of thoughts that would be renewing are thoughts that are associated with love, compassion, empathy, gratitude. The ones that would be considered depleting and that actually cause us to be fatigued are things like anger, anxiety, fear. And intuitively we know this, but yet on a day-to-day basis, moment-to-moment basis, we don't realize that many of these feelings that come up are actually causing a depletion in our energy reserves. And the more we control that and push ourselves to change that feeling into another feeling, not to deny the feeling, but to understand it and know where it comes from and shift it into one of the other feelings that we talked about, the compassion, empathy, even compassion and empathy for ourselves, that we experienced something that was very difficult and challenging. We can have compassion for ourselves, love for ourselves. And this actually does help to shift our energy and change our hormone balance. We're not talking about wishful thinking here. We're talking about a powerful rewiring tool, Affirmations, step 4. The trick is our brain doesn't know the difference between imagined or real. So why not feed it renewing affirmations as if they were true? And soon you'll find that they become your truth. Think of it as instructions to your brain and body. When you repeat, I am healthy and full of vitality, you're instructing your body and mind to do just that. Post them and read them often until you incorporate them into your life. You probably heard the saying, what we focus on expands. And it's more than just a nice quote. It's actually neuroscience. The brain has a system called the reticular activating system, or RAS, and they use this in marketing, repeating the same phrases and imagery to us in commercials until it becomes part of our consciousness. So take the slogan, melts in your mouth, not in your hand. How many M&Ms do you think they sold with that slogan? We can use this technique to market for our own well-being. You can repeat depleting slogans to yourself like, I'm always tired, or repeat renewing affirmations like, I'm becoming stronger and more balanced every day. Whatever message we keep repeating is the message that our brain starts tagging as important, and it literally tunes your awareness and your behaviors to make that belief your reality. It's repetition, emotion, and imagery, the exact formula for rewiring your brain. The difference is you can use the same process consciously to create beliefs that serve you instead of sell to you. The science of this, social cognitive and affective neuroscience in 2016 shows self-affirmation activates the brain's reward pathways in the prefrontal cortex, which releases dopamine, which is the motivation and pleasure neurotransmitter. And what this does is shift our perception from threat to safety, calming the HPA axis. And over time, affirmations strengthen our positive neural circuitry. That only means that the more you do it, the stronger those circuits become. So the takeaway is repeating phrases like "my body knows how to return to balance" isn't wishful thinking. It's rewiring the stress circuitry that governs hormone production. Self-awareness can be called the oxygen of the soul. We interestingly live in a culture of self-absorption, selfies and self-centered Facebook posts, but we lack a healthy awareness of ourself. We may be unaware of our gifts and how we affect others and how we are damaging our own lives sometimes. Living an aware life in alignment with our gifts releases oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, which lead to a growing inner peace. Practicing gratitude and using our talents fosters emotional well-being. It strengthens our social connections and creates a more resilient response to stress, which in turn positively impacts our hormone equilibrium. When you live your truth, your biology responds accordingly, because authenticity is the ultimate hormone balancer. So when you're feeling many symptoms of menopause, such as hot flashes and fatigue, it's usually because you're living in misalignment in some way. So take time to reflect and use the tools that we're recommending here to regain that balance. The science behind this is that eudaimonic well-being, which means living with purpose, people show a higher level of anti-inflammatory gene expression and lower cortisol output. And genomics research found that people who cultivate purpose and gratitude have stronger antiviral gene expression. Living authentically increases our oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphins, the biochemical recipe for vitality and hormone balance. Your purpose doesn't have to be grandiose. It could simply be rediscovering your love of painting, or maybe learning to play an instrument. I personally joined an amateur orchestra, and it made a world of difference in my life. Or sharing your time where it matters most, or maybe writing down insights that inspire others. The important thing here is not what you do, but expressing your gifts and living authentically sends your body the message, "I'm safe and aligned," which rebalances every endocrine system. As we work to attain our own inner peace, understand that peace doesn't stop with you. Your heart's electromagnetic field actually extends several feet beyond your body. So when you're calm, others entrain to that vibration, your family, your friends, even strangers. Your inner peace truly can heal the world around you. Another example, during 1993 demonstration in Washington, approximately 4,000 participants that were practicing a form of meditation over June and July. Washington, D.C. saw a 23% drop in homicide, rape, and assault crimes during that period of time, controlling for variables like temperature, police staffing, and other factors. It had a ripple effect we really don't even fully understand yet. So this is a worthy practice, not only for your life, but for those of your family, friends, and community. To learn more about these practices for hormone balance and inner peace, join my holistic hormone community. Link is in the description. Because hormone balance doesn't begin in a pill or a patch, it begins in the heart.